Hi everyone, Diane here. Welcome to my channel. Hope everyone's feeling well and enthusiastic about doing something a bit different today. A while ago, we investigated this stuff, Brusho. What we're going to do today is a contained kind of foray into Brusho. I've got two paintings here in front of me that I've done this morning, playing around. So then I thought, well, what we want to do is a wreath. We need an autumn wreath, not a Christmas one, but an autumn one. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you a particularly interesting, I think, way of doing it, which I've kind of sort of invented this morning. So I have a piece of paper here, which is rectangular, but I'm going to turn it into a square. I've put a piece of washi tape there, and I'm going to put that up on my book stand there. I've turned it into a 7-inch square. This is 7 by 10, so this is now 7 inches square. And I've got a saucer, happens to be an espresso saucer. Oh, by the way, Tamsin, the Nespresso pods have arrived.
Oh, excellent.
Yes. So this is about the right size. So I'm just going to pop that there to give me a guide for my circle. And I'm just going to very lightly indeed, just go round there. Okay, so now we're all set. I have two colours of Brusho here. This one's orange and this one is leaf green. I thought that those would be good colours for autumn. And you don't have to buy the set. You don't have to buy a set of a dozen. You can buy them individually. So if you want to give this stuff a try without investing, without selling the family farm to raise the cash to buy it, you can just buy one of these for, I think they're around between $7 and $10 a pot. And I can guarantee you that unless one of your children or grandchildren gets hold of it and takes the lid off and tips it all over the garden or all over the kitchen, you'll never run out because you use so little. It's so intense. It'll last you multiple lifetimes. So there we are. So I've got those. And then here I've got you recognize this palette from a few days ago when I was using it for something else. These are Michael Harding colors. And of course, I'm not going to throw them away because I've used them once. I'm not even going to throw them away, even though they've got bits of lavender in them. I can just reactivate them using a drop of water and they'll be ready to go. I don't even have to spray them because, to be quite honest, I can just take my brush and dip it in some water and then go into the paints and they'll be ready to roll. There's nothing holding them back at all. They don't have that much binder in them that they take a lot to activate. They're ready to roll. Okay, so there we are. And now what I'm going to do, I've got a pot of water here and I'm using a round brush. This is a size 9 round. And I'm going to sit down. You've probably noticed that when I sit down, I start speaking more slowly. I don't know why that is. Answers on a postcard, please. So I'm going to wet my brush and I'm looking at my circle. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to draw lines, wiggly lines like this, all the way around, as if it was a kind of intertwining vine going round in a circle. Oh, look, there's a bit of Brusho. And then I'm going to do it again, kind of in slightly different places. It doesn't really matter where or how far out you come or anything, just as long as you have these lines a little bit around like that. And you can look at it from the side and you can see if you've missed any important parts. And before it dries too much, we're going to go to the Brusho and we're going to pick up some leaf green. And oh, by the way, when you buy this, it doesn't come with one of these push pins, but this is what you need. And don't take the lid off. Do not take the lid off. Best piece of advice I ever was given was from somebody who said, no, don't take the lid off. I'm sure some people do take the lid off, but then you've got Brusho forever. So what you do is you get one of these push pins and you push it into the top, make a hole, and then you make another hole. You make like as if it was a pepper pot, and then you can tap it upside down onto your painting, and a little bit of Brusho will come out, and you don't need much. Now, notice that although this says leaf green, when it falls onto the damp paper, all sorts of colours come out because the Brusho is composed of different pigments, okay? So that's more than enough for what we need. That's plenty. And then I'm going to go to the orange. You can see immediately that there's more water on that side than there is on that side, but that doesn't matter really. And then we'll go to the orange and we'll tip some of that on as well. Just a little bit, all the way around like that. Okay, I think that's probably enough. And then we're going to leave that over there and we're going to go to the paints. And because I want this to be sort of autumnal, I want nice orange leaves. So there's nothing better for this than quinacridone gold. So I'm going to pick up some quinacridone gold from my Michael Harding, could be anybody though. And then I'm just going to start to paint leaf shapes. And I'm going to do these all around my hat. No, all around the circle that I've painted. And as you touch the Brusho and you just gently mingle it with your quinacridone gold, you're going to get beautiful variety of colours. Okay, is there anything easier or more satisfying than that? Possibly not. If you've got a nice pointed brush, you get nice pointed leaves. I'm not going to try to do anything weird with the leaves, like do oak leaves or anything like maple leaves or anything like that. I'm not going to do that. So we'll just, and over here where there wasn't as much water, you'll see that it doesn't matter because the colours are still there, ready and waiting to be activated. I'm going to leave a little space here because I'm going to put in a bird or two there, I think. And you don't need to use any different colours. You can just go all the way around with the quinacridone gold, and it blends into the colours from the Brusho completely randomly and looks actually quite spiffing. And in a minute, when this is dry, we'll come back in with some berries and things like that, and a couple of other nifty tricks. And truly, I have not used any other colours on the brush, on my paintbrush here, other than quinacridone gold. And all of that variety, look at it, it's amazing, isn't it? And just leave a little space there for the birdie bird. And put another one in here and another one here. Okay, so that's that. So far, so good. And then I think probably now it will reactivate when you spray it with water, if and when you spray it with water. So you could do that, or if you touch water into any of these little crystals, it will activate and burst into life. So you just have to be careful of that. You don't want to be wearing white when you do this. Okay, so I'm just going to basically, I'm not quite sure, I might do it a bit bigger. Might do a bit slightly bigger bird than that. Ugh. Okay, so let's have, I'm going to do the body first. I should do the body, not the beak first. So I'm going to do the body like that. And I like my birds' heads to sort of just grow out of their shoulders, really. I think they look more realistic that way. Okay, we will have to do him in watercolor. Can't do him in Brusho. I think that would probably be difficult. So I'm just pulling out some of the pencil, having put it there. I need to take it away. And we'll do a little robin. I'll just use a smaller brush, and I'm going to put some nice warm red with a touch of quinacridone for his breast. And then robins actually have a little bit of blue in there, but I'm not going to bother with that because I haven't got any handy. So I'll just put some brown on his back. This is an English robin anyway. Okay, I'll put his legs in later and his beak, so we'll just leave him like that. So next thing, I have a couple of things we can do here. We could, I think what I'll do is I'll start popping in some berries. So I'll carry on with my smallish brush, and I'm going to put some berries in different colours. So we'll put some in a sort of golden brown. That's a song, isn't it? Golden brown. Yes. And dark green for the shadow. So we'll just put some dark ones in. And they will also pick up the colours from underneath, from the Brusho. And I think the thing to do is we'll put in, oops, don't want that to run too much. I was going to say we'll put in some green ones, or dark, this is very dark green, this is perylene green. It doesn't matter if they run. It's quite nice if they run, actually. So in sort of various places. And then I think I'll put some red berries in. Filling in the spaces. Starting to dry now. Okay, there's that. And we could have, I think I'm going to have to let it dry now, or at least I'm probably going to have to dry it with a hairdryer. Let me do that. So I'm just going to lift out the pencil here. Having just dried it, I'm pretty sure that that's quite dry. And I think I'll put another couple of leaves down here. And we could take some of this dark perylene green and we can put in some because we need some contrast really of shape. So we'll just put in some little twiggy things like this. And what you do in one place, you have to do somewhere else as well. You can't just do it in one place. So put another one up here, and we can go over the top of the leaves that are underneath. It's often easier if you turn your paper around. You could use black for this, but I think a dark green is probably nicer. Have to be careful not to touch it, because although we want it to be nice and loose, we don't want too many smudges. I'm going to put his, since I've got the dark colour here, I'll just put his legs in. Give him an eye and a beak. And we could now come in with some dark leaves in places. So I've mixed Peroline green with the quinacridone rose there. Just put some stems in there for these leaves. And you can make this as complicated or as simple as you like. The main thing is to remember that you need some contrast. So this lovely dark colour is really nice on top of the bright orange. And then I think I want some more of this dark reddish green, and I'm going to put in just a few kind of curving lines as we go around, and we kind of follow the idea that we started with of having the curved lines underneath to sort of just connect the whole thing together. And we could mix up some sort of dark orangey brown, and we could come into our leaves and put some veins in the center. And I think it's true to say that this is probably one of the easiest ways of getting a vibrant mix of colours that are clean and not muddy at all in any way, which is really quite nice. And you could actually also see whether a few gold touches would work. I'm going to try it out on my test one here and see whether this gold pen would work. Maybe. Maybe it'd be better to use the gold to do some veins on these dark leaves. I think that would be nicer. Yeah, that's good. And then we could have a few gold berries. It's a matter of where to put them, really. We could use gold paint, but it would probably be a bit tricky. Another thing you can do, of course, is you can add gold to some of the dark ones that you've done. You know, you can go around it in gold. That can look quite nice too. And you can play around with it to your heart's content. I'm just going to put another couple of leaves up here. And then in the middle, we can do some writing, and you can have something like autumn leaves. I'm just writing it in pencil so that you can see that you could put anything there, really. And just colour in the beak of the bird. There we are. And I think I'm going to call that a day. So that's a very easy way of getting a very lovely autumnal feel to your first wreath of the season. So I hope you enjoyed that. And if you give the Brusho a try, I'm sure you won't be disappointed with the effect. It'll have a big impact on your life, that's for sure. So I'll let you go. I'll say goodbye. Don't forget to give us a like and subscribe. And I will see you soon. In fact, in a couple of days. So bye for now, everybody. Bye-bye.